it's not as long lasting as edible products, which again, and taking an antibiotic every 4 to 6 hours as opposed to every hour in general makes a lot more sense. And so, yeah, the edible cannabis is just more cost effective and a lot, kind of more stable in some sense for using for different purposes. So we've been doing work with the Cannabis Buyers Club now for 5 years. We've been doing our own kind of internal research project. And it's essentially been a comparison of cannabis to prescription drugs. We're almost told by a judge to do something like this, in essence, to prove the value in our products and in the work that we're doing, given that the government's not. Like, the government isn't even giving out questionnaires with the pot they're selling from Flin Flon. Like, you'd think they'd at least want some information.
They are doing no research.
Yeah.
And have cut all the research funding.
Yeah, we're doing actually, and have for years, more research on cannabis than the federal government. Except they are actually now funding some research on the potential of causing schizophrenia in youth. So I can't say that they haven't done anything to do research in the cannabis market. It's something that we very much recognize the need for research, and have been working on, in some ways, a pretty extensive project that we're today basically going to be revamping and starting to work with the public in a new way with. And maybe, Kristen, if you could give me that. Thank you very much. So, well, I guess it turns out it's going to be a 3-pager. The first page is a general sort of description of the project and stuff. But the bulk of it is a 2-page questionnaire, again, essentially trying to compare the use of cannabis to prescription drugs. And as opposed to our last project where we just printed it out and handed it to people, we're going to be sitting down with volunteers or Kristen, that people that have been trained in actually doing the project. And our hope is to have an annual review, especially well, I guess it'll be with 2 levels with us, because we've got like 2,800 sick people that we're going to try to catch up with. And when new members come in, we're going to, as soon as possible, like their second visit, sit down and ask them these questions and conduct that annual review and see over time how their use of cannabis goes up or not, how their prescription drug use goes up, and how their medical issues are also going for them. And our hope is that we're going to be able to prove that we're reducing prescription drug use, if not saving money in surgeries and all sorts of other ways. In our preliminary research, we've come to think that we're saving between $10 and $25 a day in prescription drug use. And if we've got
per person.
Per person, yeah. Yeah, $10 to $25 a day in prescription drug costs per person. And when I did the numbers a few years ago, I thought we maybe had 1,000 active members. I bet right now we probably got about 1,500 active members. So more. Probably more. Yeah, probably 2,000. Well, I say 2,800 members that are active with the numbers, right? But I'm just saying, like, that are currently buying off us, that aren't supplying themselves or haven't moved away or anything. But certainly, if there's, let's say, 2,000 active members, that means we're saving anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 a day in prescription drug costs alone, through the use of cannabis in our club, which is a fraction of the cost. So there's a number of reasons why we want to come out with this research. It's a very broad study. It's not scientific in the true sense of the word. So we'll come out with some information that will tell people is really not science in some ways, but is more just preliminary research. What we hope to do, amongst other things, is use this to entice other researchers and scientists to sort of piece this off and study, certain medical conditions or certain products, or otherwise, take this broad study and just look at specific parts of it. So by the end of the day, it's not up yet, but we will have this posted on our forums in the Cannabis Buyers Club section. And otherwise, we're at this point not going to be doing interviews yet. We just want to take some time to get input on the questionnaire and how it works, and if people can improve upon it. I'm not sure when we might officially release it, but it won't be that long.
By the end of the month.
By the end of the month. Before International Medical Marijuana Day, that's for sure. Yeah, that's kind of where our focus has gone. I guess on the other hand, with hempology, we've come up with another really fun way to do kind of street research. We call it our street quiz. Fridays at noon, a bunch of us, if I can, I go hit the downtown with 5 quick questions about, do you know about Bill C-15, or do you know anyone with a Health Canada license? And just gives us a chance to interact with the public, give out some pamphlets, talk about the issues, and just have a presence. And it's been a really fun way to educate people and network. And eventually, we hope to really get better at doing kind of opinion polls and coming out with press releases based on information that we've gathered from these. But we're just still kind of learning how to do research, actually, but it's getting better. But it is just a real fun way to get out there and start sharing information and talking about stuff. Yeah, so next week, Dr. Paul Hornby is going to be here. As I said earlier, we're going to extend the class and make it a full hour-long lecture. He's coming from Vancouver. We may as well make the most of it. So from 3 to 4, we're going to be here, and really looking forward to having Paul come over.
Yeah.
So thanks again, everybody, for coming. Have a great day.